Welcome back to Livie'S Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel, and I'm your host, Fam the Fabulous. For more ideas, inspiration, swaps, and challenges, click the link in the description below to join our craft community, The Maker Exchange, on Facebook. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the Lovely Lab. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button because you are not going to want to miss any of the lovely crafty uploads here, whether it's the DIYs, the junk journal, ephemera, craft type related things, the swaps, the racks, or the happy mail. Either which way, you ain't gonna want to miss none of this stuff. So go ahead and click that button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And for the current lovely community subscribers, thanks for coming back, guys. Thanks for commenting, for your feedback, for, you know, coming on over to Junk Journal Buddies and hanging out with us there. I've met so many great people here on YouTube, and I'll just say that as a homeschool mom who it's very difficult to get outside of the home aside for things related to work and business and church and sports, I really do depend a lot on, you know, my friends here on YouTube, my family, I would say, because some of you you comment below, so we see you here, but I also see you in my Facebook groups. I also see you, you know, in different other craft communities. And so, you know, that interaction is priceless to me, especially throughout the week when I'm kind of stuck here at my desk doing bills and invoicing and teaching a class and such. So anyways, I'm popping on today because I had mentioned in the rack that I received this book in, that I would do a flip through. And this, I'm just gonna be, I'm not gonna be all day, guys, but I figured while I had my cup of vanilla chai, you know, and while I had a slow pace, a few minutes that I could slow down and unwind, that I would go ahead and do that now. So what I have a cup of vanilla chai. No, it's not, it's just chai tea, black chai tea. In it, I also have vanilla creamer. It's my husband's creamer because I don't drink a lot of coffee. I don't. But I do like the caffeine. So, it's midday. Still got quite a bit of stuff to do. We've got a basketball game to attend with family friends, and I've got laundry to do. Anyway, y'all don't want to hear my list, but I said I'm going to stop for a second and just take in this book. Now, if you had not watched that video, which I'll, you know, pop a thing over there so you guys can take a look at that some later date or when you're done watching this one. In that video that of the rack that Katina had sent me, she sent me this book, and she had said, you know, I talked to her on the phone. She said that she found this book at one of the local thrift stores that has a book section. I think that's what she said. And she didn't know, you know, my history in that, you know, and as I mentioned in the video, I am from Rochester, New York, and Rochester is the home of Kodak. It's the birthplace of Kodak. And so while Kodak is no longer a large name in photography and media as it once was, it still holds a very special place in my heart because it had employed quite a few members of my family, and during the 70s and 80s when the civil rights movement was just becoming, you're just starting to see the fruits of that labor. Kodak made an effort to employ a lot of minorities where, you know, a lot of corporations hadn't. And so it was during that era that, you know, families began to rise up out of poverty. And so I was fortunate enough to be one of the recipients of that. My grandmother was employed by Kodak, and the rest is history, guys. You know, let me just say this. I'm far from rich, but I'm not poor. So thank you, Kodak. Thank you, Grandma. She's no longer with us. But nevertheless, I wanted to just do this flip through because, you know, especially for our junk journals, we like to see a lot of things from, you know, that have some nostalgia to it, be it antiques or vintage inspired things. And so I figured I would go ahead and flip through with you guys, and in case you wanted to go online to maybe eBay or Amazon and see if you could get a copy. This is The Magic of black and white by Kodak. And the copyright, I think it says 1985. Published in the United States by Time Life Books. 1985, that's right. And so, just going to do a quick flip. Now, isn't that cute? Look at the picture of, and let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can, just a little bit there. There we go. All right, so you got a picture of a guy resting. Looks like he had a long ride. That would make a beautiful journal cover with some bold words and maybe even some color added. And I love black and white. I personally love black and white. We have a wall in my family room of pictures of my son and my husband and my stepdaughter. Just random different pictures, and they're all in sepia toned, framed in white. Different frames that I painted white and distressed. And I just like the look of the black and white because it makes you focus more on the details of the picture as opposed to the color. So your mind has to do a little bit more work to look at the staircase. I like the graphic of that, along with the ornate of the metal banister. The birth of black and white. The earliest photographers were pioneers in a real sense. Lacking the convenience that we take for granted today, they broke new ground through tireless determination and immense resourcefulness. Most of them constructed their own cameras, made their own light-sensitive materials, and mixed their own processing solutions from raw chemicals. Just making a visible image. Here we go again. Let's see. Just making a visible image was often an achievement, and fixing the image so that it could be viewed in daylight must have seemed at times like trying to catch the wind. So yes, they had certainly overcame quite a few difficulties. So this looks like the first photo. One sunny morning in the summer of 1826, a French inventor named Joseph Nicephore Niepce placed a small wooden box on the window ledge of his workroom. In a hole at the front of the box, he had fixed a lens, and inside the box, he had put a pewter plate coated with a type of bitumen. He left his crude camera in place for 8 hours, then removed the plate and washed it with oil of lavender. Where light had struck the plate, the bitumen had hardened, and the unexposed areas it was dissolved by the oil, revealing the shiny metal beneath. The result was the first stable photographic image, which is reproduced unretouched below. Okay, so there's more to that story, obviously. And this was his country estate. Now look at the beauty of these pictures. Now just let me go back to this real quick. So when I was in high school, I took photography. We had to take a photography class and worked in the dark room, and developed my own photos, and actually took pictures from a shoebox. Had to build a camera from a shoebox, so we did all of that, and developed my own photos. And I did gain an appreciation for the art of photography. My dad also loved photography as well. I never did much with it, but I think I still do have an eye for capturing an image. I don't know if I would consider it the art of it, but I do have the ability, I believe I have the ability to take a scene, capture an image, and maybe crop it or focus in on something of interest, make it interesting, even if the entire scene isn't as interesting. Now let's move along to this here. Look at the frame here. Back in the time, the frames were so ornate, and man, it's nice to just be able to slow down for a minute. Because I can tell you right now, between caring for, look at that. Ambrotypes were usually mounted in a decorative case as shown at right. Like daguerreotypes, which they are often confused, Most ambrotypes are identified portraits, although outdoor scenes also exist. They were popular as an inexpensive substitute for daguerreotypes until the mid-1860s. It's fascinating to hear the history on them. Okay, let me turn that page because I don't have... This is, I mean, it's not a child channel, and there's nothing wrong with the human body. It is art in and of itself. God knows that our Heavenly Father created humans, and the human body is something to marvel at. But for the sake of YouTube and COPA, that's a whole nother conversation that I am not going to get into here on my channel. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to wait and see how things play out. So you are not going to see that in any of my titles, unless of course I'm getting ready to make a change. So with that being disclosed, I flipped the page real quick because there was a really brief of nudity, but thank God no teens and kids are watching the channel because they could care less about crafting, right? Look at that image there. I would love to put a caption here. Something clever. And I love the beauty of that black and white and the simplicity of just the door with the end of the bed there. Let me see if you guys can see it. Yeah, you can. Okay, I'm in frame. Let me stop moving the book all around before you get dizzy like me. So it goes on to tell you a little bit of information on, you know, the basic photography information, especially in capturing images, the lighting. And this is by the way, this is my first time flipping through the book. And it also gives on exposure and things of that nature. Oh, that's gorgeous. Look at that photo there. Whew. I sometimes just marvel at nature when I see the sky and how it changes and the colors that make up, like, you know, God uses that sky as a canvas, doesn't he? And he never paints the same thing twice. In all the billions of years, you would think that he would, you know what I mean? Like, we never seen the sunset look the same one night after the next. There's always something different. That's crazy. Classic subjects in black and white. It's beautiful how that, I wish this wasn't cut off because I certainly would use this. But you have this bleak background and this bright white bench there. Got some landscapes. It's talking to you about landscapes. Different filters. Portraiture. Portraiture. He looks like somebody I know. And actually, she looks like my good friend from back home. This guy looks, doesn't he look like, he looks like Frank Sinatra there for a hot second. Oh, blue eyes. It's been a while since I've been able to enjoy a cup of tea without somebody tugging at me or without the phone ringing. You guys, have y'all seen, did you see the, let me turn that page. Oh, let me turn that page too. I should, this is why I should look through the book before. I'll blur it out or something like that. Or maybe not, because I mean, if it's a lot of editing that I gotta do, it's probably gonna get blurred out or something. I don't know. Anyways, every time I've turned this camera on within the last couple of days, the phone has rung. And some woman, I don't want to say her name because it's a real person, obviously, has made a, you know, like an insurance quote, you know, and gave out the wrong number. So I have gotten like 60 calls over the last 2 days, and I'm just annoyed because the phone keeps ringing during class, during assessments, during testing, and I'm like, come on, it's hard enough for me to keep this kid focused. We don't need the distraction of the phone. Help us out. Okay, so guys, we're coming to the end. I used to collect negatives if I found them somewhere and someone was getting rid of them. I've got to see if I can find where I stored them, and because I'm sure I can find something to do with them, or if not, reprint some of the photos and use them in some type of art or craft or, you know, gift idea. He looks a little spooky, doesn't he? Yeah. So I probably will. I'm probably not going to cut this book up. I likely will scan it for the images in here that I like. If there's something in here you guys saw that you like, feel free to drop a comment below, and I'll be happy to, you know, get your email, get in contact with you behind the scenes, get your email, and I'll send you a PDF of whatever, you know, if you found something in here you really feel like you need in your life. I'm more than happy to share if I can find the time to do that. No, I'm serious. I would do it. Anyway, so before I go, I wanted to just let you know that the next flip through will be the boho color art for everyone. It's another piece that I've gotten from my good friend Katina from Celestial Scents. And oh, by the way, you want to stop by her channel, the link to it will be below. She does make some beautiful journals. I have 3 of hers. I'm proud to say that I have 3 of hers thus far, and I would be happy to spend good money on her journals because they honestly, they're very well made, very well put together, and she put so much thought into them, probably a lot more than I could. Anyway, so look below if you want to take a look at her channel, and let me know your thoughts, and if there's any pages in here that you were familiar with, and if you're from the area that I'm from, how did Kodak impact your life? The world of Kodak and pictures. Okay, anyways guys, thanks so much for watching. If you liked watching this video and the little flip through, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and if you didn't like it, you can give it a thumbs down. It's not gonna hurt me. It'll probably help out my analytics. Okay, yeah, thumbs up, thumbs down, doesn't matter. Anyways, until we're back here again on YouTube, guys, stay encouraged, stay blessed, and stay creative in crafting. Bye for now.
If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to join the crafty community, and be sure to click the bell for notifications of new uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Now stay tuned for more from Livie'S Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel. Bye for now.